Welcome to Daily English Room. Today's topic is travel. What's your favorite way to travel? Dan.
I prefer traveling by high-speed train in China. It's incredibly efficient and comfortable. I can work on my laptop or enjoy the scenery while traveling between cities. Plus, the stations are usually in city centers, which makes it really convenient for business trips.
Amara.
With kids, I find driving is the most practical option for us. We can stop whenever we need to, pack all our essentials, and the children can nap comfortably. We often take road trips to the coastal cities, and it's become our family tradition.
Carlos.
I love traveling by plane because it's exciting to see the world from above. Even after many flights, I still always choose a window seat. There's something magical about watching the sunrise or sunset from up in the clouds.
Yuki.
I enjoy taking local trains because they let me explore small towns that tourists usually skip. I often discover amazing traditional restaurants and meet interesting people. It's slower than the bullet train, but that's part of the charm.
Luca.
As an adventure guide, I actually prefer hiking. It's not just about reaching the destination, it's about experiencing nature up close. You notice so many amazing details when you travel on foot through our beautiful alpine regions.
Aisha.
I enjoy traveling by bus because it's affordable and gives me a chance to see different communities along the way. As an environmental science student, I also appreciate that it's more eco-friendly than private cars.
Tell me about a place you'd like to visit someday. Dan.
I dream of visiting Silicon Valley in California. As a software engineer, I'd love to see the headquarters of major tech companies and maybe attend some tech conferences there. It's like a pilgrimage for people in my field.
Amara.
I've always wanted to visit New Zealand. The landscapes look absolutely breathtaking in photos, and I've heard the people are very friendly. I'd love to show my children the amazing nature there, especially the glowworm caves.
Carlos.
I'm really interested in visiting Thailand. As a chef, I want to learn about Thai cuisine firsthand, take some cooking classes, and explore their famous food markets. The street food scene there looks incredible.
Yuki.
I'd love to visit Finland and see the northern lights. I've seen so many beautiful photographs, but I can only imagine how magical it must be in real life. I'd also love to explore Morocco. The patterns, the textiles, the mix of colors and textures seem like a dream for any designer.
Luca.
Australia is definitely on my bucket list. I'd love to explore the outback and learn about the unique approach to adventure tourism. The diverse wildlife and landscapes there are completely different from Slovenia.
Aisha.
I really want to visit Costa Rica because of their incredible commitment to environmental protection. They're leading in sustainable practices, and I'd love to study their conservation methods firsthand.
What do you always pack when you travel? Dan.
I never travel without my power bank and universal adapter. Being a tech person, I need to keep my devices charged. I also always pack a pair of comfortable walking shoes for exploring new places.
Amara.
I always carry a small first aid kit and healthy snacks for the kids. Experience has taught me to pack extra wet wipes and a change of clothes in my hand luggage. When you're traveling with children, you need to be prepared for anything.
Carlos.
My favorite chef's knife always comes with me. It's properly packed in my checked luggage, of course. I also bring a small notebook to write down recipes and food ideas I discover during my travels.
Yuki.
I never forget my camera and sketchbook. As a designer, I love documenting interesting patterns and designs I see while traveling. Oh, and I always pack a light jacket because air conditioning can be unpredictable.
Luca.
In my backpack, I always have a compact weather-resistant jacket, a good map, and a reliable flashlight. These are essential items in my line of work, and they've saved me many times during unexpected weather changes.
Aisha.
I always pack my reusable water bottle and shopping bag. It's important to minimize plastic waste while traveling. I also bring a journal to document environmental observations and ideas from different places.
What's the best thing about traveling to new places? Dan.
Meeting people who work in tech in different countries is fascinating. We might use different languages in daily life, but when we talk about coding and software, we all speak the same language.
Amara.
I love how traveling shows my children that the world is bigger than what they see at home. It's wonderful to watch them learn about different cultures and realize that people can be different but still be kind and friendly.
Carlos.
The best part is definitely trying new foods and learning different cooking techniques. Every region has its own special ingredients and ways of preparing food. It's like attending a massive cooking class.
Yuki.
For me, it's finding unexpected inspiration in new places. Sometimes just seeing how people decorate their homes or arrange their shop windows can give me fresh ideas for my design projects.
Luca.
I enjoy discovering how different landscapes shape local cultures and traditions. Each place has its own unique way of living in harmony with nature, and that's something I love sharing with my tour groups.
Aisha.
The most exciting thing is seeing how different communities tackle environmental challenges. Each place has its own innovative solutions, and it's inspiring to see how people adapt to their local conditions.
What's the most memorable trip you've ever taken? Dan.
Last summer, I took a train journey from Beijing to Tibet. The changing landscape was incredible, and the technology behind the high-altitude railway amazed me. Seeing how engineers solved the challenges of building tracks on permafrost was fascinating.
Amara.
Taking my children to see the Sahara Desert for the first time was unforgettable. Their faces lit up when they saw the endless sand dunes. We rode camels, watched the sunset, and spent the night in a traditional desert camp.
Carlos.
My trip to Italy was life-changing. I spent 2 weeks in Naples learning to make authentic pizza from local masters. The passion they have for traditional recipes and techniques really influenced my approach to cooking.
Yuki.
I went to Kyoto during the autumn festival season. The combination of ancient temples, fall colors, and modern art installations was breathtaking. It really helped me understand how to blend traditional and contemporary design elements.
Luca.
Leading a group through the Julian Alps during a surprise snowfall was memorable. We had to adapt quickly, but everyone worked together, and it turned into an amazing team-building experience. Nature always keeps you humble.
Aisha.
Visiting a coastal conservation project in Lagos was incredible. We worked with local communities to clean the beaches and protect sea turtle nesting sites. It showed me how local action can have a global impact.
How do you usually plan your trips? Dan.
I rely heavily on travel apps and online reviews. I create detailed spreadsheets with all the information and always download offline maps. Being organized helps me make the most of my limited vacation time.
Amara.
I involve my children in the planning process by showing them pictures of different places. We make lists of family-friendly activities and always check if there are parks or playgrounds nearby our accommodation.
Carlos.
I focus on finding local food markets and traditional restaurants first. Then I build the rest of my itinerary around these culinary destinations. I also like to contact local chefs through social media for recommendations.
Yuki.
I follow design and art blogs to find interesting exhibitions or creative neighborhoods to visit. I prefer to keep my schedule flexible though, because inspiration often comes from unexpected places.
Luca.
My planning always starts with weather patterns and terrain conditions. I need to ensure safe routes for my groups, but I also research local legends and cultural sites to make the tours more interesting.
Aisha.
I research environmental projects and sustainable tourism initiatives in the area. I try to choose eco-friendly accommodations and plan my trips during off-peak seasons to reduce the impact on popular destinations.
What's the most challenging thing about traveling for you? Dan.
Dealing with unstable internet connections can be stressful, especially when I need to join important work calls. I've learned to always have a backup hotspot and to download everything I might need beforehand.
Amara.
Managing jet lag with 3 young children is quite challenging. It takes a few days for everyone to adjust to new time zones, so I always plan our first few days with very relaxed schedules.
Carlos.
The language barrier can be tough in local markets when I'm trying to learn about specific ingredients. But I've found that food brings people together, and even basic gestures can help you communicate.
Yuki.
Sometimes I get overwhelmed by trying to capture everything in photos and sketches. I've learned to balance between documenting moments and actually experiencing them. It's important to put the camera down sometimes.
Luca.
Weather changes can be very challenging in adventure tourism. You need to make quick decisions about changing routes or activities while keeping everyone safe and happy. It requires lots of experience and preparation.
Aisha.
Working with my student budget is the biggest challenge. I've become good at finding affordable options and student discounts. Sometimes volunteering with environmental projects helps reduce travel costs too.
What tips would you give to someone visiting your city? Dan. If you're visiting Shenzhen, download a good translation app and WeChat. Try the dim sum, but avoid rush hour on the metro. The electronics markets are fascinating, but make sure you know your prices before buying. Amara.
When visiting FEs, hire a local guide for the Medina. It's like a beautiful maze. Visit early morning to see traditional craftsmen at work. Don't miss our street food, especially the fresh morning pastries.
Carlos.
In Salvador, try our local dishes like acarajé and moqueca. Visit the historic Pelourinho district, but come hungry. The beach sunset is beautiful, so plan to enjoy dinner at one of our seaside restaurants.
Yuki.
Tokyo can be overwhelming, so I recommend starting your day early at the fish market. Use the train system outside rush hours, and don't skip the small local shrines. They're often more peaceful than the famous ones.
Luca.
If you're coming to Bled, wake up early to see the lake before the crowds arrive. Try our local cream cake, but save room for dinner at a traditional mountain hut. Don't forget to bring good walking shoes.
Aisha.
When visiting Lekki, take advantage of our amazing street art tours. Try local dishes at reliable spots. I can recommend several. Visit our conservation areas, but remember to respect the local wildlife and environment.
What's something interesting you've learned from traveling? Dan.
I've learned that technology habits are really different across countries. In some places, people use completely different apps and platforms. It's fascinating to see how tech solutions adapt to local needs and culture.
Amara.
Travel has taught me that children are natural diplomats. Even when they don't speak the same language, they find ways to play together. It's beautiful to see how easily they cross cultural barriers.
Carlos.
I've discovered that every culture has their own version of comfort food. Whether it's soup, rice, or bread, there's always a dish that reminds people of home. It shows how food connects us all.
Yuki.
I've learned that creativity appears in unexpected places. Sometimes the most inspiring designs come from practical solutions in everyday life, like how people organize their small spaces or decorate their shops.
Luca.
Nature speaks the same language everywhere. Whether you're in the Alps or the Andes, mountain safety rules are universal. It's amazing how outdoor enthusiasts can communicate despite language barriers.
Aisha.
I've learned that environmental challenges connect communities worldwide. Whether it's coastal erosion or pollution, many places face similar issues and we can learn from each other's solutions.
How do you deal with homesickness when traveling? Dan.
I keep in touch with family through video calls, usually during mealtimes. I also bring my favorite tea from home. Sometimes I look for Chinese restaurants in foreign cities. It's not the same, but it helps.
Amara.
I maintain our family's morning routine even when traveling. We also carry a small photo album, and I make sure we can still watch my children's favorite cartoons. These familiar things help them feel secure.
Carlos.
I cook. Even in a hostel kitchen, I can usually make a simple Brazilian dish. The familiar smells and tastes help me feel connected to home. Plus, it's a great way to make new friends.
Yuki.
I draw scenes from home in my sketchbook and share them on social media. My friends comment on them, which makes me feel connected. I also always pack my favorite Japanese snacks and green tea.
Luca.
When I miss home, I look for similarities between where I am and Slovenia. Maybe it's a mountain shape or a particular tree. It reminds me that we're all connected, no matter where we are.
Aisha.
I carry a small jar of Nigerian spices and make my morning tea exactly like at home. I also keep recordings of Lagos street sounds on my phone. Sometimes I play them when I feel homesick.
What's the most unusual food you've tried while traveling? Dan.
In Japan, I tried live squid sashimi. The tentacles were still moving on the plate. It was scary at first, but the taste was incredibly fresh. It taught me to be more adventurous with food.
Amara.
In France, I tried escargot, snails, for the first time. My children were fascinated and turned it into a game, counting the empty shells. They were actually quite delicious with garlic butter.
Carlos.
While visiting Mexico, I tried chapulines, grasshoppers seasoned with lime and chili. As a chef, I love discovering how different cultures use unusual ingredients. They were surprisingly crunchy and tasty.
Yuki.
During a trip to Iceland, I tried hakarl, which is fermented shark. The smell was very strong, but I wanted to understand this part of their food culture. It definitely tests your courage.
Luca.
In Mongolia, I drank fermented mare's milk called airag. It's an important part of the nomadic culture. The taste was quite unique, slightly sour and fizzy. It's amazing how people develop these traditions.
Aisha.
In Thailand, I tried durian fruit. Many people complain about the smell, but I found the taste fascinating. It shows how our food preferences are often shaped by our cultural background.
What do you like to do on long flights or train rides? Dan.
I use the time to catch up on tech podcasts and coding tutorials. Sometimes I challenge myself to solve programming problems without internet access. It's like a mental gym session.
Amara.
I prepare small activity packs for each child, new coloring books, simple games, and snacks. For myself, I enjoy listening to audiobooks or practicing English with language learning apps.
Carlos.
I read cookbooks and food magazines, planning new recipes to try. I also enjoy chatting with other passengers about their favorite local dishes. You can learn so many cooking tips this way.
Yuki.
I sketch people and scenes around me, or work on design projects that don't need internet. The gentle movement of the train actually helps me be more creative sometimes.
Luca.
I study maps and travel guides of new regions. There's always more to learn about different territories. I also like writing detailed notes about my recent tours to improve future trips.
Aisha.
I write in my environmental journal or read research papers I've downloaded. Long journeys are perfect for organizing my notes and planning future conservation projects.
What's your favorite travel memory with friends or family? Dan.
Last Chinese New Year, I took my parents to Hong Kong. They'd never been, despite it being so close. Watching their excitement at the Harbor Light Show and sharing dim sum together made me realize how special family travel can be.
Amara.
During Eid, our whole family went to the beach in Agadir. We played volleyball, had a big picnic, and the kids built sandcastles. Seeing 3 generations of our family together, sharing stories and laughter, was magical.
Carlos.
My brother visited me from Sao Paulo, and we spent a week exploring local food markets together. We cooked traditional family recipes and tried street food. It was amazing to share my passion for food with him.
Yuki.
My best friend and I took a pottery course in Kyoto. We stayed at a traditional inn, wore yukata, and learned from an old master. Creating art together and experiencing traditional culture made our friendship stronger.
Luca.
Taking my elderly father on a gentle hike to his favorite childhood spots in the mountains was unforgettable. He shared stories about growing up here that I'd never heard before. It was like traveling through time.
Aisha.
My cousins and I volunteered at a sea turtle conservation project. Working together to protect these creatures, camping on the beach, and sharing our hopes for the environment, it brought us closer together.
How has travel changed your perspective on life? Dan.
Seeing different work cultures has made me realize there's no single path to success. Some places prioritize work-life balance over rapid development. It's changed how I think about my career goals.
Amara.
Travel has shown me that education happens everywhere, not just in classrooms. Watching my children learn from real-world experiences has transformed my teaching approach. Every journey is a learning opportunity.
Carlos.
Experiencing how food brings people together in different cultures has deepened my appreciation for cooking. It's not just about taste, it's about creating connections and preserving traditions.
Yuki.
Visiting different cities has taught me that beauty exists in many forms. Sometimes it's in perfectly organized spaces, sometimes in creative chaos. This understanding has greatly influenced my design work.
Luca.
Through travel, I've learned that nature is both powerful and fragile. Seeing how different communities respect their environment has made me more conscious about sustainable tourism.
Aisha.
Travel has shown me that environmental challenges don't have borders. Seeing how different communities face climate change has strengthened my commitment to global environmental cooperation.
What do you do to travel more sustainably? Dan.
I've started using more public transportation and choosing hotels that use renewable energy. I also carry my own water bottle and try to minimize digital waste by deleting unnecessary travel photos and files.
Amara.
We try to support local family-owned businesses instead of big chains. I teach my children about respecting local environments and cultures. We also collect any plastic we find at beaches or parks.
Carlos.
I choose to eat at local markets and restaurants that use seasonal ingredients. I carry my own containers for takeaway and try to learn about traditional preservation methods that don't waste food.
Yuki.
I travel with minimal luggage and choose accommodation that practices recycling. When I shop for souvenirs, I look for local artisans who use sustainable materials. I also try to walk or cycle whenever possible.
Luca.
In my tours, I teach visitors about protecting our natural environment. We follow strict, leave no trace principles and support local conservation efforts. I also work with communities to develop sustainable tourism practices.
Aisha.
I use public transportation, stay in eco-friendly hostels, and always carry reusable items. I also try to join local environmental initiatives wherever I travel, even if it's just for a day.
What's a travel skill you wish you had learned earlier? Dan.
I wish I'd learned earlier how to pack efficiently. I used to carry too many gadgets and chargers. Now I know exactly what tech I really need and what I can leave behind.
Amara.
Basic first aid skills would have been helpful from the start. When you're traveling with children, knowing how to handle small emergencies makes everything less stressful. Now I'm certified.
Carlos.
Learning to ask locals about hidden food spots earlier would have made a big difference. The best restaurants aren't always on review sites. Sometimes you need to learn to just ask and explore.
Yuki.
I wish I'd learned to sketch faster earlier. You often only have a few moments to capture a scene or design idea while traveling. Quick sketching is such a valuable skill for a designer.
Luca.
Understanding weather patterns and basic navigation without technology. Sometimes your phone doesn't work in the mountains, and you need to rely on traditional skills.
Aisha.
I wish I'd learned how to properly document environmental observations earlier. Now I know how to take useful notes and photos that can actually contribute to research.
How do you make friends when traveling? Dan.
I use tech meetup apps to find local developer communities. It's amazing how quickly you can connect with people who share your interests. I've made some great friends by joining coding workshops in different cities.
Amara.
Having children makes it easy to meet other parents at parks and family-friendly places. We often arrange playdates with local families, which helps both the kids and adults practice language skills.
Carlos.
The kitchen is my social hub. I take cooking classes wherever I go and always chat with vendors at food markets. Food really brings people together, even if we don't speak the same language.
Yuki.
I join local sketching groups and art workshops. Creative people are usually very welcoming, and it's fun to share different artistic perspectives. Instagram has helped me find these communities abroad.
Luca.
In the outdoor community, people naturally bond over shared adventures. I've made lasting friendships with other guides and travelers while sharing stories around campfires or during long hikes.
Aisha.
I connect with other environmental students through university networks. Volunteering for local eco-projects is also a great way to meet people who care about the same issues.
What's something that surprised you about traveling? Dan.
I was surprised by how many different mobile payment systems exist worldwide. In some places, cash is rare, while in others, it's essential. It really shows how technology adoption varies globally.
Amara.
What surprised me most was how similar parents are everywhere. We all have the same worries and joys, regardless of culture. A mother's smile means the same thing in every language.
Carlos.
I never expected to find such strong connections between different cuisines. Many cultures have similar dishes with small variations. It shows how food traditions have traveled throughout history.
Yuki.
The most surprising thing was finding Japanese design influences in unexpected places. Seeing familiar patterns and aesthetics adapted into different cultural contexts is fascinating.
Luca.
I'm always surprised by how universal mountain culture is. Whether in Slovenia or Nepal, mountain communities share similar values and traditions. It's like being part of a global family.
Aisha.
I was surprised to find such innovative environmental solutions in small communities. Some of the best sustainability practices I've seen came from traditional knowledge, not modern technology.
What's your favorite travel souvenir? Dan.
My favorite is a traditional Chinese calculator I found in an antique market. It's a beautiful piece of computing history, and it reminds me how far technology has come.
Amara.
I collect children's books from different countries. Even if we can't read all the languages, the illustrations tell stories about local culture. They're perfect for teaching my kids about diversity.
Carlos.
I have a special collection of local spices from each place I visit. Each one brings back memories of specific dishes and reminds me of the unique flavors I've discovered.
Yuki.
My treasured souvenir is a handmade pottery cup from a small village. The artist's technique was so different from what I'd seen before. It inspires me every time I use it.
Luca.
I keep a small stone from significant mountains I've climbed. They're not just rocks, they're memories of adventures and reminders of nature's beauty. Each one tells a story.
Aisha.
I collect seeds from different ecological zones, legally and safely, of course. They help me teach others about biodiversity and remind me of the various ecosystems I've studied.
How do you share your travel experiences with others? Dan.
I maintain a tech travel blog where I review co-working spaces and tech hubs in different cities. I also share tips about staying connected while traveling in different countries.
Amara.
I create digital photo albums with stories for my children. We often look at them together, practicing English by describing our adventures. It helps them remember our family experiences.
Carlos.
Besides posting food photos on social media, I host themed dinner parties where I recreate dishes from my travels. It's a way to share not just the food, but the whole cultural experience.
Yuki.
I keep a visual travel journal with sketches and designs. I share these on my professional portfolio, showing how different cultures influence my creative work and artistic style.
Luca.
I give presentations at outdoor clubs about different hiking regions. I focus on sharing both practical safety tips and cultural insights about mountain communities worldwide.
Aisha.
I write articles for our university's environmental blog, connecting local ecological practices I've observed with global environmental challenges. It helps raise awareness about solutions.
What's the most beautiful place you've ever seen? Dan.
The Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge in China took my breath away. Standing on transparent glass 300 meters above the ground was incredible. The engineering behind it is amazing, and the view of the stone pillars is unforgettable.
Amara.
The Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca at sunset. The way the light reflects off the ocean onto the mosaic tiles is magical. Seeing my children's amazed faces as they looked up at the towering minaret was priceless.
Carlos.
The Amazon rainforest near Manaus. The morning mist over the river, the sounds of nature, and the incredible variety of fruits and plants. As a chef, seeing ingredients in their natural habitat was inspiring.
Yuki.
The autumn colors at the Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto. The contrast between the red maple leaves, the traditional architecture, and the modern city skyline creates a perfect harmony of old and new.
Luca.
The Julian Alps after fresh snowfall, just as the sun rises. The pink light on the white peaks, reflecting in Lake Bled, creates a scene that looks almost unreal. It still amazes me after all these years.
Aisha.
The mangrove forests along the Niger Delta. The way the roots create intricate patterns in the water, the diverse wildlife, and the whole ecosystem working in perfect balance. It's nature's art.
What travel apps or technology do you find most useful? Dan.
I developed my own travel checklist app, but I also rely on offline map applications and language translation tools. Having a good VPN is essential too, especially for accessing development resources while traveling.
Amara.
I use educational apps that teach kids about different countries and cultures. Weather apps are essential for planning outdoor activities, and I have several apps for finding family-friendly restaurants and activities.
Carlos.
Food translation apps are invaluable for understanding local ingredients and menus. I also use apps that connect me with local chefs and food tours. Social media helps me discover hidden local restaurants.
Yuki.
I use design-focused city guides and architecture apps. My favorite is an app that generates color palettes from travel photos. It helps me capture the visual essence of different places.
Luca.
I rely on weather and terrain apps for safety planning. Altitude tracking apps are essential in the mountains, and I use specialized maps for hiking trails. But I always carry traditional navigation tools as backup.
Aisha.
I use apps for identifying plants and tracking wildlife movements. Environmental monitoring apps help me record and share ecological data from different locations. They're great for citizen science projects.
How do you deal with language barriers while traveling? Dan.
I write simple code to create basic translation tools for specific situations. But I've found that understanding basic programming terms in different languages helps me connect with other developers globally.
Amara.
Visual aids and simple drawings help a lot with children. I also learn basic phrases in local languages. Children love helping me practice. Sometimes, their innocent mistakes lead to funny and friendly interactions.
Carlos.
In kitchens, we communicate through cooking techniques and gestures. Food itself is a universal language. I always learn basic food-related words and carry a notebook to sketch ingredients.
Yuki.
As a designer, I communicate through sketches and visual references. It's amazing how much you can express through drawing. I also photograph signs and texts to translate later for my design research.
Luca.
In outdoor activities, we use universal safety signals and gestures. I've learned emergency phrases in several languages, and maps help bridge communication gaps. Nature speaks its own language.
Aisha.
Scientific terms are often similar across languages, which helps in environmental work. I use a lot of photographs and diagrams to discuss ecological concepts. Numbers and data are universal.
What's a travel tradition you always maintain? Dan.
I always visit a local tech store or electronics market in each new city. It's fascinating to see different gadgets and how technology is used locally. I buy a small tech accessory as a reminder.
Amara.
On our first morning in a new place, we try the local breakfast. It's become a family game to guess the new foods we'll try. The children get excited about rating each new breakfast experience.
Carlos.
I always visit the oldest restaurant in each city I visit. These places tell the story of local cuisine, and the traditional recipes often inspire new ideas for my own cooking.
Yuki.
I create a color palette swatch from each destination, collecting local materials and fabrics. These eventually become part of my design projects, bringing travel memories into my work.
Luca.
At the highest point of each trek, one take a moment of silence with my group. It's a small tradition that helps people connect with the mountain environment and appreciate the journey.
Aisha.
I plant a native tree or contribute to a local planting project wherever possible. It's my way of giving back to the environments that teach me so much about ecology.
What's a travel mistake that taught you an important lesson? Dan.
I once lost my laptop charger in Singapore and couldn't find a compatible replacement. Now I always photograph all my essential tech items and research where to buy replacements at my destination.
Amara.
I didn't book a child-friendly hotel room once, and we ended up in a tiny space with no refrigerator for milk. Since then, I always call hotels directly to confirm family amenities before booking.
Carlos.
During my first trip to Thailand, I tried to cook local dishes without learning about traditional ingredients first. Now I always take a local cooking class before experimenting with regional cuisines.
Yuki.
I lost some design sketches in a rainstorm because I didn't waterproof my bag. Now I always digitally back up my work daily and use waterproof art supplies when traveling.
Luca.
Early in my career, I led a group on a trail without checking recent weather damage. We had to turn back. Now I always verify trail conditions with local rangers before every tour.
Aisha.
I once forgot to check permit requirements for visiting a protected area. Since then, I always research local environmental regulations and get necessary permissions well in advance.
How has travel influenced your career? Dan.
Seeing different tech startups globally has broadened my programming perspective. I've learned new development approaches and coding styles that have made me a more versatile engineer.
Amara.
Teaching in different cultures has shown me new ways to engage children. I've incorporated games and learning techniques from various countries into my ESL classes, making them more interactive.
Carlos.
Each country's cuisine has added new techniques to my cooking. Understanding how different cultures use local ingredients has made me more creative in the kitchen and improved my menu planning.
Yuki.
Exposure to global design trends has greatly influenced my work. I now combine elements from different cultural aesthetics, which clients really appreciate in their project designs.
Luca.
Travel made me realize adventure tourism could be a career. Each destination teaches me new safety techniques and cultural approaches to nature, improving my guide services.
Aisha.
Visiting different ecosystems has shaped my environmental research focus. Seeing various approaches to conservation has helped me develop more effective community-based solutions.
What's your favorite travel photograph? Dan.
A sunset photo of Shanghai's skyline from my first big project there. The mix of historic buildings and modern technology towers perfectly captures China's rapid development.
Amara.
A picture of my youngest daughter sharing her toys with local children in a small village. It shows how children naturally break down cultural barriers and make friends everywhere.
Carlos.
A photo of me learning to make traditional pasta from an elderly Italian grandmother. Her hands were telling a story of generations of cooking tradition. It reminds me why I love food culture.
Yuki.
Misty morning shot of a traditional craftsman working in Kyoto. The light, composition, and atmosphere perfectly capture the balance of tradition and artistry that inspires my design work.
Luca.
A photograph of my tour group celebrating at a mountain summit. Their expressions of joy and achievement remind me why I love my job. Nature brings out the best in people.
Aisha.
A picture of a community mangrove restoration project where everyone worked together. It represents how local action can create global environmental impact. It keeps me motivated.
What do you always research before visiting a new place? Dan.
I check internet connectivity options and tech co-working spaces. I also research local cybersecurity laws and download any necessary apps that locals use for daily activities.
Amara.
I look for child-friendly activities, emergency medical facilities, and family restaurants with high chairs. I also research local customs about children to ensure we respect cultural norms.
Carlos.
I study local food markets' opening hours, seasonal ingredients, and traditional cooking methods. I also research food safety standards and where to find authentic local cuisine.
Yuki.
I research art galleries, design studios, and creative districts. I also look into local craft workshops and traditional art techniques that might inspire my work.
Luca.
I study detailed weather patterns, terrain conditions, and local emergency services. I also research cultural significance of natural sites to share these stories with my groups.
Aisha.
I investigate local environmental projects, protected areas, and eco-friendly accommodations. I also research current environmental challenges affecting the region.
What travel skill are you most proud of developing? Dan.
I always pack a small circuit board and basic electronic components. Sometimes I like to tinker with simple projects in my hotel room to relax. It's like having a portable mini-lab.
Amara.
I carry a small puppet in my bag. It's amazing how a simple puppet can help calm an upset child or break the ice with local families, even when we don't speak the same language.
Carlos.
I pack a small vial of vanilla extract from my grandmother's recipe. When I'm cooking abroad, adding a drop makes any kitchen feel like home. Plus, it's interesting to share with local chefs.
Yuki.
I bring washi tape in different patterns. I use it to create quick color studies of places I visit, making instant artistic compositions. It's lightweight and surprisingly versatile.
Luca.
I always carry a small rock from my first mountain climb. It's my lucky charm and helps me share stories about starting as a beginner when my tour groups feel challenged.
Aisha.
I keep a collection of local seeds I've found during my travels, properly documented and legal, of course. Each one tells a story about different ecosystems I've studied.
What travel skill are you most proud of developing? Dan.
I've become really good at quickly setting up a secure working environment anywhere. I can turn almost any space into a functional remote office within minutes, while maintaining cybersecurity.
Amara.
I've developed a talent for creating instant educational moments from any situation. Whether we're lost, delayed, or stuck somewhere, I can turn it into a fun learning experience for the kids.
Carlos.
I've learned to identify ingredients in foreign markets just by smell and appearance, even when I can't read the labels. It's like developing a culinary sixth sense.
Yuki.
I can now sketch a scene in under 5 minutes. When you're traveling, beautiful moments pass quickly, so being able to capture them rapidly in my sketchbook is really valuable.
Luca.
I've mastered reading weather patterns just by observing clouds and wind. This skill has helped me make crucial safety decisions when technology isn't available in remote areas.
Aisha.
I've developed the ability to quickly assess an ecosystem's health by observing key indicator species. It helps me understand new environments rapidly during short visits.
How do you spend your last day in a place? Dan.
I visit my favorite local tech cafe one last time, update my digital travel notes, and always take a final walk to observe how people use technology in their daily lives.
Amara.
We have a family tradition of creating a small photo story about our favorite moments. The children choose pictures and help write simple captions in both English and Arabic.
Carlos.
I try to recreate my favorite local dish that I've learned. Then I visit the markets one last time to buy any unique spices or tools I'll need to make it back home.
Yuki.
I spend time completing my color studies of the location and taking final photographs of design elements that inspired me. I also buy local art materials to use in future projects.
Luca.
I always take a quiet moment to appreciate the natural surroundings and thank the local community. Then I update my trail notes while the experiences are still fresh.
Aisha.
I organize my environmental observations into my research journal and usually spend time thanking local environmental groups who shared their knowledge with me.
What's a place that exceeded your expectations? Dan.
Bangalore's tech hub completely surprised me. The innovative solutions they're developing for local challenges showed me a whole new approach to practical programming.
Amara.
A small village in southern France wasn't on any family tourism lists, but the way the whole community helped entertain our children made it our favorite stop. Sometimes the unplanned places are the best.
Carlos.
A tiny family restaurant in Vietnam taught me more about flavor balance than any fancy culinary school. The grandmother there showed me techniques I still use every day.
Yuki.
A traditional craft workshop in rural Korea changed my whole perspective on minimalist design. Their simple but perfect objects taught me that less truly can be more.
Luca.
A lesser-known hiking region in Scotland surprised me with its raw beauty and rich folklore. The local guides there taught me how to weave stories into nature experiences.
Aisha.
A small coastal community in Thailand showed me incredible innovation in mangrove restoration. Their simple but effective methods have influenced my whole approach to conservation.
What has travel taught you about life? Dan.
Travel showed me that technology isn't just about coding, it's about connecting people. Every culture uses tech differently, but we're all trying to solve the same human problems. It's made me a better engineer and a better person.
Amara.
Through traveling with my children, I've learned that education happens everywhere. Every new place is a classroom, every person a teacher. It's beautiful to see how travel opens young minds to endless possibilities.
Carlos.
Travel taught me that food is a universal language of love and respect. Whether you're sharing a simple meal or an elaborate feast, it's about bringing people together. In every kitchen, I find a new family.
Yuki.
I've learned that creativity has no boundaries. Every culture expresses beauty in its own way, yet somehow we all understand it. Travel has taught me to see art in everyday moments and design with a global perspective.
Luca.
Nature has shown me that we're all connected. Mountains don't care about borders. The same stars guide us all, and the trails we walk tell stories that belong to everyone. Adventure brings out our shared humanity.
Aisha.
Travel has taught me that environmental challenges connect us all. When I see communities working together to protect their local environment, I understand that we share one planet and one future.
How do you handle delays or unexpected changes in your travel plans? Dan.
I always have a backup plan for my work commitments. I've set up remote access systems that let me work from anywhere, and I keep important files offline. Being flexible with technology helps reduce stress.
Amara.
I turn waiting time into story time with the children. We make up adventures about why we're delayed, play word games, or practice counting in different languages. It keeps everyone positive.
Carlos.
I use unexpected stops as chances to explore local food scenes. Some of my best culinary discoveries happened when flights were cancelled. I also carry small snacks from previous stops to share.
Yuki.
I use delays to sketch people and places in the terminal or station. These moments often inspire interesting design ideas. Plus, my sketchbook helps me stay calm when plans change.
Luca.
Years of mountain guiding taught me that weather changes everything. I always have alternative routes and activities planned. Sometimes the unexpected detours become the best adventures.
Aisha.
I carry a field notebook and use delays to organize my environmental observations. I also look for local environmental initiatives near airports or stations. Every location has something to teach.
What's a small detail about travel that makes you happy? Dan.
The sound of message notifications when my phone connects to a new network. It reminds me how technology keeps us connected across borders. Plus, I love testing different mobile networks.
Amara.
The way my children's eyes light up when they hear a new language. They immediately try to copy the sounds and make new words. Their curiosity about languages is contagious.
Carlos.
The morning sounds of markets coming to life, crates being moved, coffee brewing, vendors calling out. Each city has its own market melody, but they all mean fresh ingredients and new recipes.
Yuki.
Finding unexpected color combinations in ordinary streets, like a bright door against an old wall, or seasonal flowers growing through cracks. These little moments inspire my design work.
Luca.
The first cup of mountain tea at sunrise during a trek. The silence, the steam rising from the cup, the anticipation of the day's adventure, it's a perfect moment.
Aisha.
Spotting local birds I've never seen before. Each new species tells a story about the ecosystem, and it's exciting to add them to my environmental observation journal.
What new travel goals do you have? Dan.
I want to visit more emerging tech hubs in Africa. The mobile payment innovations there are fascinating, and I'd love to learn from local developers who create solutions for unique challenges.
Amara.
I'm planning to take my children on an educational tour of historical sites. I want them to connect the stories in their textbooks with real places. It makes history come alive for them.
Carlos.
I dream of studying traditional preservation methods in different cultures. Understanding how people kept food before modern technology could inspire more sustainable cooking practices.
Yuki.
I want to explore traditional textile communities and learn their dyeing techniques. Understanding these ancient color-making processes could bring new perspectives to my digital design work.
Luca.
I'm developing eco-friendly tour routes that showcase both nature and local culture. My goal is to help people understand why protecting these environments matters for everyone.
Aisha.
I hope to visit more community-led conservation projects. I want to learn how different cultures protect their local ecosystems and share these solutions with other communities.
What's the best advice you'd give to someone learning English through travel? Dan.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I practice by joining tech forums and chat groups before visiting a place. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, most people appreciate the effort to communicate.
Amara.
Start conversations with simple topics like family or food, things everyone understands. Using pictures on your phone helps too. My children taught me that smiling and gesturing go a long way.
Carlos.
Work in your interests. I learned so much English by reading menus and cookbooks. Talking about something you're passionate about makes learning feel natural and fun.
Yuki.
Carry a small notebook for new words and phrases. I sketch situations where I heard them, which helps me remember. Visual memory can be very powerful for language learning.
Luca.
Learn vocabulary related to your needs. I started with safety terms for hiking. Now I help my tour groups learn basic nature words in different languages. Practice makes progress.
Aisha.
Join activities where you share common interests. Environmental projects often attract people from around the world, and shared goals make it easier to practice English naturally.
That's all for today's daily English room conversation practice. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, like, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button. See you next time.